Stand by for the opening night of the National Television Service.
Ooh.
The current time is 12:41 a.m. That's Sunday, July 18th. Happy Father's
Oh, it
Day,
is the
everyone.
18th. That's right. Fuck, it's the 18th. Don't.
Welcome to the
Don't.
Midnight Show, everybody.
Don't.
I didn't.
Don't.
I already didn't.
No, you didn't do it.
I already didn't.
Don't even think about it. You fuck. Keep your mouth shut.
So I
Dirty
shouldn't have
bitch.
zoomed.
No, you're good. Everybody stop.
Everybody, it's like, you know, we're
Everybody-
trying to make a funny show, okay?
Stop. I remember last year I tried to schedule something for the 18th, and you were like, we all have plans. Okay, let's stop.
We're done.
It's fine.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Fuck.
I'm crying for unrelated issues. It's not because I cry out of embarrassment.
Because the podcast
Fuck,
is
I have an
going
eyelash
great.
stuck in my eye.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Oh no.
This is the kind of raw content we get. Oh my god. Stop breaking the fourth wall. It's gotta be like a radio show. We'll do a little ASMR talking. Hello everyone. While Zack is adjusting his eyelash, I'm just gonna give you a few this is my impression. This is my impression of a turkey being waterboarded.
So loud.
There's a turn down button. Why don't you hit it?
Usually good.
That's
No, not him. On the switcher. Oh jeez.
It's fine. It's fine. This one?
Hey.
I got it.
I'm gonna pretend like my eye is not sticking down.
it's fine. Just drink some of your coconut LaCroix.
Have you had a coconut LaCroix?
I haven't, no. So what did you do today?
No, it's not what this is gonna be. If it's awkward, we're gonna sit here and it's gonna be fucking awkward. And that's what this is gonna be for the beginning. That's just how it is. I'm not doing this shit.
So
How'd your day go? I don't give a fuck, Julian. It's not what this is. We're gonna sit here, and if inspiration comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, this is it. We're sitting here. I just spent like 2 minutes plucking an eyelash out of my fucking eye.
So I had kind of a lazy day today.
Right. Every day's a lazy day for you, you fuck.
Yeah.
You like fiddling with that, don't you?
It's a little spiral now. Okay.
Hey.
You know what I've learned? I'm oddly comfortable with sucking at things now.
Well, I was actually thinking the same. So I don't want to say
Like,
the
I'm
exact
not
same
uncomfortable
light.
right now.
Well, I was thinking about the same thing about like I was having a new realization for like doing stand-up comedy for me, where I've kind of gotten to the point where it's like, at least I knew this is a combination of like, you know, like other things, but it's more just like I actually really cherish the time I get to go. Like the anxiety has been overpowered with just like a genuine happiness to be like around people and to be like doing the thing that's important. So it's been really it's just been like a really positive look overall.
Sorry.
Recently. No, you're
Coconut
good.
LaCroix.
That's oh, it smells like an island breeze over here already.
Tropical ocean. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm there. I'm more so I don't know. I don't know if maybe it's because like being an apprentice in a trade, you just kind of get used to sucking dick. Like you just suck at everything. You're just not good at anything at all. And so like when I do eat shit on stage,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just. I mean, for one, I wear
So
a
you're
Fitbit.
sucking at the important thing now, kind of.
Not even.
At
It's
least.
just not even the way I look at it. I think it might just be a biological like reaction to it because I wear a Fitbit and I check my heart rate like as the buildup goes, and it'll be at like 130 to 150, and then afterwards it'll jump down to 75. And so I think once I'm on stage and I'm no longer worried about it, it's just happening. I think my heart rate drops and it's like a physical release, like a physical
Mr. My
release.
heart rate can drop to 175. Big whoop.
Drops to 75.
Oh, 75.
one-
No,
one-
I'm joking.
175 would be
175 is not.
insane.
No, I was joking about my poor health.
Oh.
No, but I don't mean to sound like a lot of people. I feel like when they say like, "Oh, I'm not even afraid of like sucking anywhere," like I don't know, it can come
I'm
off. And
afraid of
I
sucking.
know you don't mean it this way, but like, or like, what is it? I'm not intimidated by the bomb. I feel like
I'm very intimidated.
I mean, definitely no one would choose it, but I guess like a lot of people will say, I've heard this from a lot of comedians before. This, I don't even care if I bomb anymore.
I care.
And yeah, no, I mean, no one's lying about like. I would hate someone to actually lie about that. Of course you care. At the very least, you care positively in the positive direction. At the very least.
The point I'm making is that as soon as it starts happening, I am surprised that I feel much worse right beforehand thinking I'm going to do shit than when I start doing shit. When I start doing shit, maybe it's just the awkwardness and it makes me giggle out of just pure being uncomfortable, and that makes it feel better. But it doesn't like I was nervous before we started filming.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? We're sitting here silent for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Fucking chilling, dude.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's very strange when it's actually happening. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's just gonna like happen at a point, and there's some things that like I feel like you're gonna hate it more in post. Like again, I think you have the right attitude right now. Is in pre-production, there's so much you can do to fix it, and in post-production, there's things that you can do to correct mistakes that were made during production. But like right now, this is what it is. You're totally right.
I guess to your point, it's that I can't do anything to fix it right now.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It is what it is.
That's kind of how I've started to feel like, yeah, on stage as well. Is it's like, oh, these are the jokes I came up with, and these are the people who I'm telling them to. Like, I could do something else. Like, you have your fallbacks, kind of to a degree. Everyone's got their fallback.
I don't.
It's
I don't
because
have
you
anything.
suck. Okay.
Bro, the other day, I was thinking about how I could like approach things differently, and I was like, man, I just need to write different jokes. I was like, these are funny. I can figure this out. I need to figure this out. And then I kind of came to the realization, maybe these just aren't good jokes. Like, I'm not giving up yet, but for like the first time, I was like, fuck, maybe I'm the only one who finds this funny.
No, I think that there's, I mean, for me, I would think of the problem as kind of like, it's partly like a numbers game. Like, in theory, like if everyone in America knew about you right now, then some number of people would listen to everyone, be it like, 100 people or 5 million people. Yeah. So it's all about like finding those crowds, like eventually you get to the point where a crowd comes out for you. And that's when those jokes that you think are funny that resonate with you, those are going to resonate with the crowds. But yeah, adapting jokes to like a bar crowd, I would definitely say like, yeah, probably you're just going to have to write bar jokes and theater jokes and
Can
XYZ.
I tell you, this isn't a joke yet, it's just an idea.
Yeah.
It's just a silly thought I had whilst at work, and Megan already shit on it. Not necessarily, she didn't say it was a bad joke, she found the flaw. Like, you ever play chess and like you think, okay, as long as they don't do that move, I'm fine.
Yeah. And
She did that with my joke, and I was like, "Fuck, you found it." You know what I mean? So the idea is that I don't really think this. Just me fucking around, right? I think everyone is bisexual.
yeah.
I think either you're a self-hating homosexual, either you're a self-hating bisexual person, or sorry, a homophobic. Well, what's it called when a gay person hates themselves for being gay? What am I
Well,
trying
like
to say?
you would maybe say internalized homophobia.
Sure, whatever. Either that or you're bisexual. And the
why'd you
thing
fucking
and
ask, then?
and the thing that made me like think
It's
of
like,
that.
why'd you ask if you were gonna say whatever? You know, I'm sorry, keep going. It's just like, why would you ask me what the fucking
Dick.
term even meant if you're just gonna breeze past it?
your idea wasn't right either. So I gave you credit for trying and then moved on.
Okay, no, just continue. Continue with your story,
Fuck
please.
me. And so the idea
It's
came
just
from
like, why were you
the.
gonna ask? You know? Sorry.
It's not even funny. It came from the question of would you have sex with a trans girl? And the answer for me has always been yeah, if they're hot, right? And I think anyone who says no to that question is wrong to the sense of like either you hate a certain type of person or you would fuck it if it was hot enough. Like, would you fuck a dog if it was hot? Okay, maybe that's a bad whatever. Would you do? God, I already want to cut this out.
You know, you
Fuck me. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Would you? No, but like, oh God, I hate myself so much. I shouldn't have. Whatever. Okay.
Zach,
The
Zach,
point I'm-
did you give you
God,
to
fuck me.
empower you?
God damn
I
it.
completely agree with you. I think
God
this is a very
damn
progressive
it.
sense.
It is, but then I just compared
not the
trans people
dog
to
thing,
dogs,
Not
Julian.
the dog thing. The dog
Fuck. God
was a
damn it.
real one step forward, two steps back kind of situation. The dog thing, not good. The point
We're gonna
of
pretend like that didn't happen.
the point of you should look
Fuck.
past people's transness to just see what you're looking at with no
Yeah,
bias.
but
Yes.
that's like not the fun way of looking at it. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah, okay,
right.
it's not
but
fun,
I'm
but
not
I'm
trying
saying,
to say
I'm
that.
saying you're right.
I'm thanks, but I hate myself already.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Nonetheless, oh God, this isn't even funny anymore.
We give out gender
the point I was
affirmations
trying
on
to
our
get at.
podcast.
The point I was trying to get at is like, it's not that you're not gay, right? It's just you haven't met a guy that you want to fuck. You know what I mean? Like there's 9 billion people on this planet.
I haven't met Ewan
There's
McGregor,
9
so
billion.
I agree. Yeah.
Me and what? Oh, Ian McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks. But yeah, that's
going.
I don't
Zach,
know.
first of all,
right
the first thing I'm hearing
very
from this
self-hatred,
is
but
you want to reach around and grab Levy Men's tight little ass is what I hear.
no.
That's kind of what I heard at the first, kind of everyone's bisexual, right? You know, part. That's
didn't
the
say
first
right.
thing I heard.
I go out of my way not to say right.
No, you didn't say. You
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
Say that. I'm just.
I try
That was
hard-
my internalized.
I try
homophobic
hard not to
society
ask
still.
for people's approval.
Okay. Well, I think. No,
I hate this idea. You just talk. You're chilling. What's up,
I need you to turn because it's blurry because the light in the camera.
motherfucker?
Thank you.
There we go.
I can't be comfortable now when I hate myself. No, maybe that's a good move. When I say something fucked up, I just go like this, and then I blur out of existence. I just.
I just thought you'd get mad later.
Nah, you're chilling. You're right.
Zach,
Oh, there we go.
I do love your progression though. You're
God
going at
damn
this.
it.
You're going at this in a very progressive light. You're like, yeah, I think everyone's a little. You know, I think sexuality is very fluid. Everyone's got to be like at least a little bisexual. You know, there's like, you know,
Not
the
even-
trans
no.
people. People should look past that transness. You know, I want to fuck dogs too. Like that's part of it. Well, it's just like you could have said, you know, I'd fuck anyone if they were hot enough. You know, like a trans person, a Nazi. You know, Fred Durst, like anyone. If they were hot enough.
I was really bummed right now.
Why? Let's
fuck.
unpack it, man.
I was really trying. Fuck. I guess like I don't know where the funny is yet, but I think there's something funny about like without getting too like woke or political about it. I think there is something inherently funny about saying that either you're homophobic or there's a chance you'd fuck a dude. You know what I mean? Like not fucking a dude that you find hot because he's a dude is homophobic, and the chances of there not being one dude out of 9 billion. Like you kind of, I don't know if you guys are laughing at me or if you see what I see.
No,
Do you guys see what I see? You see what I see genuinely? Thank God one of us does. You're not just being supportive? I can't tell if you're laughing at me or not.
I don't think.
No one else is laughing.
I think.
You sound really, really gay. I'm super into it.
Oh, fuck. I told you! She has a weird thing with gay dudes. It's fucking insane. I'll do something and she's like, oh, that's cute. And I have to be like, is it cute or does she just like gay guys? It's fucking ridiculous. Why are you with me?
Because you're really gay.
I'm not gay because I see the logic and the point of, okay, yeah, if it's a hot dude, then I guess I'd fuck it. Like you know what I'm saying? That's not... It's an interesting thought. It's dead silent in this room, and it's making me uncomfortable
I
right
need
now.
to put some like words together. I don't mean to make you uncomfortable, and these aren't even going to be words of disagreement.
Did you see the humor in what I was saying?
Like when you say, "Do you see the humor?" Like I'm trying to find the like. I mean, do you see the humor in like your toaster every morning when you make toast? There is some, but you have to fucking find it. So I'm just thinking about it to see. Like I get what you're saying.
Okay, I guess the humor is maybe like...
It's funny, the idea of you saying this to a crowd where the idea of being gay is more taboo. The idea of you saying it to a crowd and getting those reactions.
Oh, fuck. God, it's such a fine line between like it being weird to say that being straight isn't a thing and then just sounding like that kind of person. Like the opposite of a guy who says that being gay is nothing. You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, I want to thread the needle, and I don't know if it's possible. And I don't know if it's just I'll tell you what she said, and it's a very valid point. She said that it's basically just saying the same thing that, like, dudes say to lesbians, like, oh, you just haven't gotten fucked by the right dude. Like, you're telling me there's not, I'm the dude, bro. I'll turn you straight. And, like, she's not wrong. It is kind of the same thing, and it did kind of ruin my day. But like... Oh, I don't know. I had this thought while I was fucking pressure washing, so like, don't take it too seriously. No, you don't see it?
No, I fully
Fuck.
I fully see that. It's better for a guy because like I don't know. Well, just guys don't just have this like inherent like you're not like afraid. Like if you know like what is it? If you were like, you know, if a guy came up to you and he was like, maybe I'm the one, you wouldn't be like, oh, I better walk to the other end of the room. I mean, maybe you would, but like you wouldn't feel the need to leave the establishment immediately, you know? So I think that's the only reason that makes it or that's the main reason that makes it unacceptable. Well, then again, like, why am I trying to fucking unpack this? Someone else say why it's unacceptable. You know, why is it unacceptable, Lily? Megan? Why is it unacceptable? No, not unacceptable. No. Like, why is it less, like, I'm trying to articulate that I think that
why the joke is unacceptable?
No. Like, a man, like...
Yeah, explain it to me and I can explain why.
Men have this inherent, like... you know, this inherent like privilege of being more like men can be more intimidating when asking for something typically, or like men asking for something from a woman will typically maybe feel like a little more unsafe because you just don't have that power to say no, or if you do say no, you might hurt someone's feelings in a big murdery way. Like, so what I'm saying is that I think that the reason that it's more acceptable to say what you are saying over like, you know, saying, oh, you just haven't found a guy to fuck you straight yet, is because of the fact that, like, you saying that as a man, like a straight man, isn't very intimidating. What is it? Straight men aren't very, straight men are the least easily intimidated group, really broadly speaking. Yeah.
I understand that, and I understand that makes the idea of the joke more acceptable. But in my own sort of, like, my problem with that point that she made doesn't come from the point of me thinking that my joke is bad because it can be associated with this thing. Like, I understand that what I'm saying is the opposite and therefore it's kind of more acceptable. My problem comes from the point of, in my opinion, that makes it less funny, and not from like a I care about women point of view. From just okay, like,
I could figure out a way to save it in a way is like
try.
The big thing is like the funniness comes from the insecurity of the man, especially in a trans setting, is the fear of, oh my God, that means I'm gay.
I guess maybe I think it makes it less clever. I guess maybe I think it makes the idea less clever because it's just this thing in reverse.
Well,
I didn't think about it that way, but that doesn't matter to me.
Well, I would say the idea definitely isn't like, I mean, just like how, like when we were talking about it initially, the idea of like gender being more fluid, sexuality being more fluid, these are ideas other people have had that are progressive. You can still find humor in that and still find a new, unique way to talk about these things. Maybe you're the one who explains it to one Midwestern idiot who's like, oh, I didn't get it until then. If I fuck, even if it's a girl, dude, like, that's okay. Like,
I mean,
Damn, you have some opinions about Midwesterners. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry, Wisconsin or whatever.
It was more New York, but
I don't know. I don't
Midwest is
fucking
more. Oh,
know
don't
them.
you know?
I lived in Washington. I live here. Okay.
It's basically Canada.
Here's where I live.
You're Canadian. Minnesota is basically Canada.
It's not.
Oh, cigarettes, eh?
Oh, that's
Minnesota, eh? It's the same thing. Same thing, Minnesota.
different.
I think the reason I liked it is because it's technically not wrong, but it's ridiculous to live. I guess maybe I like jokes that like, fuck God, I'm stumbling with my own words. I like jokes that are ridiculous to live your life by, but are technically true. Like, I think technically my point is correct, but it would be very silly to live your life that way.
Like, it would be very silly. So you're saying it would be very silly for you to catalog every man you met, knowing that you are straight, thinking, oh, maybe this man will turn me, like...
No, it would be ridiculous to
bi.
go around calling myself bisexual.
Yes.
Although, technically, everyone probably is, because there's probably at least one person of the opposite sex that they would enjoy.
Well, there's
fucking.
probably some degree. Like, I mean, at least a lot of people you'd think, I mean, what was it, like, what was it, like, there's some catharsis in it, at least, like, you know, if you're watching porn, it's like satisfaction.
Why
Like,
didn't you just say, no, I'm kidding.
just,
I'm
like,
fucking
it's
with
like
you.
if you're watching porn, you know, it's like, you know, like you'll want like guy parts and girl parts. You don't want to like not see a penis. So it's like you like watching a penis penetrate a vagina. And I don't know if that's just, you know, you're living vicariously through that, or if the sexual activity is enough, so you associate it. I'm not exactly sure how you would explain away that one, but I would say that, like, yeah, sexuality is definitely fluid, because it's
keep
not...
going back to that.
Well, no, I'm just saying...
Seriously, I'm blurry again? What the
This
fuck?
is the same...
Continue.
Yeah, no, I was just, like... Yeah.
Oh, idea. Sorry, I totally fucked up that train of conversation.
Yeah, go for it.
I wonder...
Your train, Mr. Conductor.
God, that is so obnoxious.
We gotta like tap it.
No, because it keeps going back and forth. I don't even know what's causing that, to be completely frank. It's very strange. Maybe I just need to, like, sit closer this way. Maybe I need to stop going in that direction. We're going to try this. And I also... Okay. We're going to try this, and I hate that that just ruined the train of conversation, because that was actually fascinating.
That's what were you saying?
Oh, well,
There's no going back
you
to
make a
it.
point, and there's no going back to it.
What is it? No, oh, yes. Like, I think that...
What's an idea you've had?
Well, like, yeah,
I have
no.
another joke idea I want to tell you.
Basically, penis and vagina sex, good.
Sure.
The only kind. No. there's a lot of kinds.
So
Tell me your other hilarious joke idea.
It's
I'm
fuck me.
sorry. Tough
I
crowd.
don't even know if I've told you that this whole idea. I haven't thought this out or said this in front of people. So
Okay.
But very grain of salt, right?
Yeah.
Have I told you about the $100 bill from the Confederacy?
That you have it?
I have one, and the Confederacy printed their $100 bills with slaves on them.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than
Okay, you
Benjamin
told me
Franklin?
about that. Yeah, you sent me a photo of it.
Okay, yeah. First of all, fucking wild,
Yeah.
right? So I was trying to, I was expanding on the jokes around that, and I read that Benjamin Franklin, well, like later in his life, he became an abolitionist abolitionists. I think abolitionist is automatically geared towards slavery, right?
Yeah.
It's not like an adjective. It means specifically that you're against slavery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, in this context, definitely. Maybe it means other things.
Later in his life, he was an abolitionist, but he still, like, he never, or I shouldn't say never, he didn't own slaves later in his life, but he did sell ad space in his newspapers for slave auctions. I think that's just like a weird place to draw the line. And like, I just have this image of Benjamin Franklin being like, slavery is horrible. You should never own slaves. That's a person. You should never want to buy people. It's a terrible thing to do. You should never do that. But if you do, may I suggest today's sponsor? Like something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
just
like
the weirdness of like, you can't own people, you can't buy them, but if you are going to, make sure you buy them over there.
people need to know that this is going on in our country at Sunday, 2:30. Yeah.
Sunday. I'm gonna stop there. It could get way worse at that point. I'm not doing it, but it could get.
And it was wrong.
Georgia, South Carolina, Florida.
It was wrong of Benjamin Franklin to do that. Was the point of the conversation? It was a hypocrisy.
It's a weird place to draw the line. It's a weird place, you know. It'd be like you shouldn't hire an assassin, but if you are, like he sounds like he's an undercover. Or he sounds like are you wearing a fucking wire? Like. Or like one of the concierge people at like in a fucking Las Vegas hotel. Like, hey, do you know where I can buy a blow and hookers? And like, you can't do that. Why the fuck did you 6th Street? Why the fuck did you? Be like, you can't do that. Here's a business card. Stop. That's illegal.
Come on, man. Like, well, it's.
Do you think there's something
It's
there?
like a U.S. senator legislating abortion. Like, no, what? You can't do that, honey. Of course, no, please. I don't want to take care of it. No, why you can't? You destroy. You tear apart your future family. This will tear apart my family if it gets out. Just please go kill it. You know, like it's like that.
Yeah, except just a weirder place. Just very strange.
Well, that's politics for you, isn't it?
But do you like that idea?
Yeah, I like that
Okay,
idea.
awesome. Fuck yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be like on
1 for
camera.
2.
Like, I'm not like
1 for 2.
This is not like through the roof for
You
it.
can't get too excited.
No, I'll
The
check.
joke's not weird, but getting stoked is.
I love that joke, Zach. You have to tell that joke.
I'm so excited.
It has all my favorite topics.
Julian, I have 10 minutes on slavery. No, I'm kidding.
You kind of do.
What do you do? No, I don't. I promise I don't. What you checking?
Okay, well,
I'm very interested.
I'm checking my joke book so I
do you
can
have
just
any-
respond
do you?
in kind. Well, I'll tell you what. So I've been looking around for at jobs, like different jobs, and I've been thinking about like work at like Planned Parenthood because it sounds like, you know, like, I don't know, a nice hourly, and you could do something that's like provide medical care to people who can't afford it, kind of a nice transition away instead of exclusively to people who can afford it. But I'm going in.
Sorry, ignore that.
Just
Spilled
ignore
coconut
you
on my
almost
face.
choking on your can tab.
No, I was drinking the. Oh yeah, you're totally right. I didn't even realize. I'm sorry. I detrained you.
I was going in to like these buildings, like hand in my resume and say hi and try and like make a good first impression. And then I was like getting all dressed up and I like put on like a tie, and I realized like going into a Planned Parenthood, just me, a lone man looking as Mormon as I've ever looked, is like a threat to people. Like when I walk in the doors, people are like they're looking for the person to walk in behind me, like, hi, I just wanted to hand in my resume. Like, oh, thank God.
Really, Mary, one of them's in here.
Yeah.
One of them came inside.
I just think we need to have a little talk about ethics. That's what it looks like I'm going to come in and say.
He's got a sign.
He's got a sign. He's wearing something under his shirt. Oh, God.
That could be silly.
That's just what has been happening, you know. It's kind of like, you know,
Where else have
responding in
you?
kind.
I don't know if you want to say it. Where else have you been applying?
Well, a bit of like, I mean,
Do you want? I get
No, I mean,
no one
what is-
from
The idea,
Yeah.
if someone from my current
odds.
company
The odds.
sees that, plus it's not like, what is it? As long as I'm not going to talk shit about the people there or the products.
Cool.
It's just
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah,
for
yeah.
me. No, so I've been applying it like Planned Parenthood. I've been thinking about doing a like some other like political canvassing. There's some like agencies where you just go out on the street and get people to sign a form, but they pay you for it, you know.
Like a register to vote type thing.
Yeah, kind of more like a would you put your name on this signature for Planned Parenthood?
Would you put your name on this signature?
Or sorry,
for
would you
Planned-
put your name on this petition for Planned Parenthood for
What's
like
the-
more improved Planned Parenthood funding? Or
Okay.
like, would you put your name on this signature for this piece of legislation that helps out Planned
Does
Parenthood?
that actually do something?
Yeah, like I mean, it makes like
Why was that
political
funny?
change. No, it's like rallying people to your cause.
Well, it should. but
Well,
it
no,
doesn't.
well, it doesn't
okay.
do enough, but it in theory, it you get a certain number of signatures and you can get legislation introduced in the House, and no, like it takes a certain number of thousand signatures to get things introduced or to get senators to pick it up, and it still might not win the general vote, and it probably won't if it's anything too drastic, but yeah, I would say it definitely helps, especially with basic things, and you're kind of doing stuff like. There are some people in like Gen X who are maybe a little more apprehensive to they think of, abortions as still like a really sad thing that's like, might have to happen in some cases, but is very regrettable. And kind of explaining to them things like, oh, Planned Parenthood actually provides like a lot of like health care around, like just medicinal, like preventative care, for underprivileged people, that kind of thing. Like explaining that to them.
How much do they pay for something like that?
They pay $24
They
an
pay $24.
hour.
Do you have a quota?
It's inner city. I don't think you have a quota. I think it's just hourly. I mean, I'll certainly see when I apply.
$24 an hour to talk to motherfuckers?
Talk to motherfuckers on the street. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. So that's what I'm hoping. But there's a lot of like jobs in that kind of range. I've also been applying for like office clerk jobs, just more like front-facing receptionist type of things. Basically, shit where I don't have to solicit my friends is basically the goal.
It's like not
Shit
a
where I
bad
can
job.
go out to dinner and I'll just be at dinner and I won't have to be like, oh, hey, can I speak to the owner about fucking insuring you?
Can you do that for 40 hours a week?
Yeah. Well, they said
No
full-time work.
shit.
They said full-time work, so you would assume at least 32.
That's like a good ass job.
It's not a bad job. No, I
Is
really...
it competitive?
It didn't seem super competitive. They seem to be hiring like quickly. So really, hopefully, I'm gonna hear back sometime on like Monday or Tuesday because they said they usually respond within like 4 days.
I could see.
So
you being good at
hopefully,
that.
yeah. And then no, I appreciate that. It's definitely like it's a nicer way to use the
It's insane to me
skills.
that you can get paid to do that. God, I sound
I
like
know,
a grandfather.
you'd
right
think
now.
it's just like a
like
volunteer,
a volunteer, yeah.
opportunity,
You're like
right?
50 G's a year. It's
I know,
crazy
it's
you
not
don't have a
bad.
quota. It would make sense if it was. Maybe it'd be kind of fucked up to like pay you per signature. Maybe that's illegal.
I think it's I mean, they certainly have bonuses. So they'll
So you get more money on top of it?
I think if you can outperform, like if you can get a
Bro.
certain number of signatures, you can. They're not going to be like these big lucrative commission bonuses.
Who cares?
No, who
Fucking
cares?
50
It's
bucks
nice.
is 50 bucks.
No, $50 exactly, but it would be more in that range, probably more in that. Oh, you got the most signatures this month. Here's an extra 200, and it's like that is good.
Yeah,
That's more than
that's
most places will fucking give.
Fucking that's a day's pay right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm really hopeful about that
Dude,
one.
that seems super easy. Like I'm gonna be honest, $24 an hour.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
how as long as you're like
Well, it's-
comfortable, just
yeah.
cold talking to people.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest barrier, which to be fair, I think 95% of people are not going to be comfortable. Well, 95, I'm not trying to flatter myself or anything, but just out of my friends, like most
Oh,
people.
of doing it, like doing the job or talking to you if you approach them.
Doing the job.
Okay, I got you. Continue.
Talking to me if I approach them, I have absolutely no idea. Like, probably very few, but it's like, what is it? I'd be in downtown
You'd have
Seattle.
a hard time. People would have a hard time saying no to you. You might be really good at this.
Yeah, right? Exactly. That's
Like-
how I've gotten by this far.
No, like I'm
Can I be on the show, Zach?
No, all I'm saying is like if you're like just like a small woman and says she's like, hey, would you like to sign this? You can just kind of whatever, like 6'4". How fucking tall are you? 6'2". 6'3" Julian walks up like, hey.
Hey,
Well,
You look like you care about abortions.
Bro, you with the
And you'd
clipboard?
better, because I'd be pretty annoyed if you didn't. So tell me, would you be interested in signing my petition? No pressure.
No.
Not like that.
I appreciate the effort.
I tried to
It was
go with
A
your
for
thing.
effort, buddy.
This is the first show for sure. We'll see, you know.
It's okay.
But yeah, no, I don't need fucking reassurance.
You sure?
I mean, I don't. You know, I'm fine.
You brought up that it's the first show.
Even
you
without
sound kinda
it.
insecure.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, just backpedal like I did, dog.
You're just so like worried. Like I even cared, you know, but I didn't.
Where else have you applied?
Oh, I thought you
you
were
got
raising
some?
your hand.
Playing with their hair.
No, just I mean like office like reception kind of jobs, like office manager type jobs. Just things we're trying to apply at places like Planned Parenthood or other like more helpful medical clinics at the start, just because that's the direction I was sent on. We'll
Is it
see.
walking distance from your house?
No, I don't believe most of the time
That'd
it
be
would
fucking
be.
sick if you could find one that's walking.
Walking distance? Well, Lily was looking into a job that was walking distance. There's actually 2 dispensaries walking distance from our house, and they're both hiring, and
Uncle
she's
Ike right
applied
there,
at
yeah.
both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sick. Walking, dude, not having to fucking drive to work.
And you
Oh,
get
well,
samples.
I don't drive, so they would. I'm mostly.
You don't have a car? I thought you had a car.
I've never had a license.
Oh, but you
Yeah.
have a car.
No.
No,
I thought you said you had 2 cars.
I sold my cars when I
Oh.
moved. As with the
Down
house.
south or back north?
When I was in Kirkland, the place
Gotcha,
over
gotcha,
there,
gotcha.
when we sold the place, it was
You
just
still
part
have
of
a
the estate.
license?
No, I never got a license.
Just an anxiety thing?
Oh yeah, it was just I was just in a lot of accidents as a kid, so.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
time I got scared the first time I went on the freeway, not being on the freeway, but that first time you hit an on-ramp and you realize how fast like fucking 50, 60, 65 really feels like the first time.
Well,
It's weird to be in control of it.
I was really afraid about fucking up because when I was like 13, I like drove a golf cart and I drove it right into a ditch. And I was just like, oh man, like this thing had impeccable control. Like I must just be bad at driving. But you know, it's a golf cart. It's actually, you don't realize as a kid, it's one of the harder things to drive, and cars are relatively idiot proof, you know?
You know, something I've been thinking about is
Yeah.
another idea. I don't know where I'd go with this.
Sure.
But like everything we did in high school and before high school is technically past the statute of limitations. So like it's kind of fair game.
foreshadows.
It's kind of fair game.
What did we do? in
No,
high
I was thinking about, so you brought up golf cart. How specific do I want to get? Fuck, I shouldn't
Oh
have
yes,
said
no.
Nonetheless, in that park.
I know
park,
what
bro.
an unspecified number of
Unspecified.
people might be indemnified by. Yes.
No, yeah. But dude, there were some times that like I'd hit a speed bump I'd hit a speed bump too hard.
At least I thought it
on
was a
golf
speed
cart.
bump.
Yeah, right. No, but like one time this golf cart was a flatbed and it had like slide-in like walls around the back of the bed, and I fucking hit the bump so hard the cart bumped, shot like the walls out and just left them behind. It was the scariest noise ever. It's like I was already kind of afraid, like we're doing something stupid. I hope we don't get caught. It was ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. It was very fun.
You put it back.
Yeah, I put it back. I was more concerned.
Were
about
you able to
damage.
fix it?
It wasn't really broken. It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
It
It
was
was hard plastic. It was fun.
Yeah. No, I got you. That's good.
It is
No, golf carts hard. I don't fucking know.
They're
I
good,
don't fucking
but
know.
nowhere else close to your house.
Nowhere else super close to my house. No, like I guess I don't know. I've kind of been on this kick of applying for things that are still. I mean, not really the canvasser thing. That was kind of. I actually just met with some canvassers who said they
Do
were
they
hiring.
get paid too?
Yeah, no, I was.
How much do they
so
get
there were
paid?
people right out on my street. So some days I might actually be able to walk to work because there are people right on
Yeah,
on
yeah,
15th Ave, right next to Club Comedy. And I was talking to some of them, and they said that I was like, oh, I was actually like, because they say they were from Planned Parenthood. I was like, oh, I applied to work with you guys, and they're actually from this like contracting company. But so I basically met them right outside my street. So in theory, I could walk some days, but. But other than that, like I've been trying to apply to mostly kind of like office-y jobs just in case I decide like I would like to go on a little more like lucrative of a path that I still have like office-y skills.
Oh, you mean like use that job to leverage?
Well,
into
yeah,
another
exactly.
person.
Like,
I got you.
it's
Okay,
like I still
that's
worked on
different.
Excel every day. I still talked to people in the office every day. I still used Word and
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, and you can a lot of the times those positions will take you into new positions too within that office.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I see what you're talking about. But I mean,
Or even as a canvasser, like that's kind of the first step. Like I could, if I'm like, oh, I have a year of full-time experience as a canvasser, I can, work on your campaign and be like do paid campaign work instead of just volunteer work. Things
is
like
the
that.
canvassing volunteer?
No, it's not. This is paid, but I'm just saying like I could move instead of broadly canvassing for Planned Parenthood, I could get a job for like a senator. Like a senator's campaign and do campaigning for them, and then you could kind of move up to the next level of campaign managing or political.
What was the not a canvasser, the other job you were applying for Planned Parenthood? What was that called?
Just a receptionist. Just
No,
like a
no,
medical
like when you get
receptionist.
signatures.
Oh, that is a canvasser.
That is
Sorry.
that's
that's what a
I thought that
canvasser
they were two
is.
different things.
Yes. No.
When you said canvasser, I thought you meant like when you go knock on people's doors and like leave a little fucking thing on their door.
No. I mean, maybe.
I think
do
that's
that.
the term canvassing when it. I mean, I guess.
Maybe they have us do that, but it seemed to mostly be like walking and
Talking to
talking, like
motherfuckers?
bumping people on the street. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like it definitely sounds like, and it'll sure give me a lot of stories.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that thought. That is an indoor thought, Zach. Are you comfortable talking about these car crashes?
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's not a yes. No, whatever she says afterwards, I mean, and then that long of a pause, that's not a yes.
Inappropriate.
Oh, okay.
This isn't a trauma show.
She said that, dude. It's been pretty traumatic for me.
It's actively traumatic. Yes.
I mean,
The only
it's
reason
not
I-
traumatic to talk about. It's mostly just like, it's not like comedic. It's mostly just like,
Neither is him applying for a Planned Parenthood. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fair
It
enough.
could be funny, Julian. Your joke's not shit. I promise.
Fair enough.
I promise.
my mom got in a few accidents when she was impaired, like,
Nice,
you
okay. I know what that
from
means.
various, pharmaceuticals.
I feel you.
There was one time where we got in a fender bender.
I'm gonna unmute yourself.
Oh, am I muted?
Are you? Fuck, I hope so. She
you're
hasn't been
not.
muted? Oh shit, okay.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Well, anyways,
You're quiet. Like
yeah.
a mouse.
but I was I was in grade school and my mom was carpooling and she only did this like 4 times, but out of one of them, she got in a fender bender right at the intersection, right by Jesse's house.
His parents' house?
Yeah, like his old parents' house,
Okay,
like over
gotcha.
by in Houghton, right at the intersection over to the freeway. Right there, she just got in a huge fender bender, ripped off the bumper, and my friends and I saw it coming out from the side of the car window. It was just like it just like flew past the passenger window and then sat on the middle of the intersection in the turn lane for like a week and a half.
Did you just hung out?
Yeah, it just hung out. Nobody picked it up.
What year was this?
It's like
This
no
was like
school today, guys.
2010 or something. Like I was in elementary school. I think I was like in like 3rd or 4th grade, so like somewhere around there.
12, you would have been in 6th grade.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around then. But yeah, she like got rid of her car soon after that because it just completely failed. Yeah, no, I just when it comes to car anxiety, it's mostly people. I'm never scared of the people driving, other than a few people I know who are just bad drivers. But
It's Jesse.
We know who.
It's Jesse.
and like there were a couple other
Yeah,
people I
no,
knew.
there are
but,
others.
but no, it's mostly just like when I'm at
Sorry.
intersections,
Sorry, Jess.
especially.
Jess.
People will like every single PSA show or television, like Glee did this, and a lot of other shows did this, where people would be texting and driving or distracted by something, and then they'd get T-boned dramatically from the side
Yeah.
at an intersection.
I know the
So
exact commercial you're talking
it
about.
terrified me.
Okay.
I was always scared of this because I'd already been in accidents and I hadn't been T-boned before, but that was always a terrifying thought. So I always like grip the side of the car doors whenever anybody's like going towards an intersection, because it's not that I don't trust them. I don't trust any of the other drivers that could be distracted. I'm always sure that most of my friends, like for example, Julian knows that sometimes I'll just like grip the handle of the door because I'm just a little panicky about everybody else and their level of, attention to the road.
And you've had that for like a decade?
Yeah, definitely.
Huh.
Yeah, I've had a lot of dreams where I've been in a car, in the driver's seat of a car, and the car's going like 5 miles an hour and I'm just going towards a brick wall, but nothing is working. I'm like locked in the car.
Lily
It's
overheard.
awful.
Lily actually overheard me. I don't know what spurred this. Surely you were doing something wrong. No, I don't know what spurred this, but I actually had a dream like that, very similarly, where it was Lily and I. She was in my car, and I was just like, and we were driving, and it was very slow. It was like 5 or 10 miles an hour, and I'm like, all right, you're gonna want to stop here, Lily. Hit the brake. And she's what? I wasn't hit the brake, honey. She was just like, I was like, Jesus Christ, Lily, this is a learning experience, but could you please hit the brake? It's on your right, the brake, it's on your left, the brake. I was dreaming, so, but yeah, no, I actually had a dream that was incredibly similar to
Yeah,
this.
it kind of feels like
I
a
had one
prophecy.
for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't mind taking us out to dinner, is what I'm saying. I don't mind.
Do you not want to talk about this?
I don't mind talking about
Do
it.
you think you'll ever get a driver's license?
I mean, Julian wants to move to LA, and the public transit there is absolutely garbage. So, like, I'm sure that someday I'll learn in, like, I'd love to learn in, like, a giant parking lot with no cars someday, but I'm still really scared to go out and, like, on, like, any kind of busy streets. Like, I'd love to just drive on, like, Route 66 on a large road where nobody can bother me to learn there and just go in a straight line for a long time. I think that would be helpful.
Go-karting?
I love go-karting. That's the thing. See, that's not the problem. There's no traffic in a go-kart. There's no like sudden stopping and people like backing into you. There's no like real traffic laws. You're just going. So like that's fine. I love Mario
I
Kart.
sense a funny skit here, or funny,
Yeah, you could do a really funny video of me just breaking down learning how to drive.
You sit in the passenger seat. I'll be in the back with the camera. We go to just a straight ass road.
And we try in your car.
I'll let her drive my car.
Yeah, no, that's a good
My car is
car. to
not
learn.
safe, but
No, I mean in the parking lot, hopefully, you know.
yeah, I more mean like if you get into a collision, you want to be in as new of a car as possible.
Right. I mean, you know, but
Airbags have increased incredibly over 20 years.
some of us would, disagree.
It's amazing what they'd say in 20 years.
Depends on what kind of collision, you know.
100% of collisions, you don't want to be in my car.
No,
Unless it's like with a smart car. Or something.
I'm more saying like
It is heavier.
No, I'm saying the car you might want to get in a big scrape with a car that has a $500 or whatever $1,500 door instead of a car that has like a $5,500
I was talking about survival,
door.
not money.
Oh no, I was talking about like minor collisions that are more
no.
likely to happen.
I was talking
while
about
learning.
her nightmare. Where she gets like T-boned.
Once we actually go on the highway, once you could drive my car for that, so you don't die. Actually,
Cool.
we'll get you insured.
What if is there anything I just told you guys this, but I think the only fear I carry over from my childhood is like seriously E.T. Like E.T. And then when I was a little kid, my mom bought me this like 3-foot tall Grinch stuffed animal, and you have to like mind you, I was a little kid, so 3 feet it was a big stuffed animal,
fucker,
right?
yeah.
And she like put it up on my dresser in the corner of my bedroom. She told me goodnight and left, turned the lights off, and its fucking eyes glowed in the dark, dude. And it scared the shit out of me as a kid. And I made her take it to her bedroom, and she never understood why I didn't like. I told her this like 3 years ago, and I turned 20, and I was like, Mom, you know why I fucking didn't like that? Because fucking eyes glowed in the dark, and she lost it. But dude, that fucking stuffed animal still creeps me out. And then E.T. really bothers me. I don't know what it is. Maybe. I think it might be the scene where he like rolls the baseball into the shed and then E.T. rolls it back, which like, by the way, a weird thing for an alien to do.
Beginning?
Yeah.
No, I
That's
get that.
creepy, Megan.
No, Zach, I get
get
that.
it.
That it's like that's when the whole world is open at that point. It's like saying hello in an empty house and hearing hello back. Like, yeah, it could be your friend with the key, but no, I totally.
Carlisle. Not Carlisle. What's that? Coraline. When they were like, it's time to sew your buttons on. When they like wanted to sew buttons onto her eyeballs. That scared me a lot as a kid too. Which was weird that got me, because I'd watch like zombie movies. Like, I'd watch Resident Evil and be cool.
I'm laughing like Carlisle is just Coraline, but it's with like a Carl Weezer type instead.
I think that's
Well, I think it's
Twilight.
with both of those things.
Jimmy's mom.
Time to sew the buttons on your pants, Jimmy's mom.
Jimmy's
I think a lot of that is just like the uncanniness. Like E.T. is like a creepy like rubber puppet, so as well as being something that you just wouldn't see normally, and like a ghost, like Julian was kind of implying with that like unknown, with something rolling the ball back at you and you not knowing what's behind the other thing, and then you just seeing what looks like a scrotum with legs. Like,
Yo, why'd he roll that ball back? What a weird thing to do when you're hiding.
Yeah.
It's like you're hiding from the bank robber and he like rolls a basketball. You're not gonna be like, oh, sweet.
It's like, you know, the Nazis searching for Anne Frank.
Isn't
This
that
was a
also the
bad
beginning of-
example.
They, like,
It's
roll
like
a quarter?
No, it's like
Oh, fuck!
I love how E.T.
That's
and
bad.
Air started the same way.
No, Zach, I'll tell you what mine is, because I feel like it's on the same plane. And if anyone sees this, people are gonna fucking relate to this. So do you remember that one episode of SpongeBob? Maybe you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Lily does. There's this one episode of SpongeBob where he breaks his butt. So he becomes kind of like a recluse.
Okay, sure.
And he's like staying in his house, and then Patrick and Sandy try and trick him out. And Patrick dresses up in like a gorilla suit. And then, for some reason, they decided it would be so funny. It would be really funny to have a real man in a real gorilla suit come and green screened onto the fucking show. Well, I didn't find it funny. I didn't find his cold red eyes and human teeth in the world of SpongeBob funny at all.
Really?
And every time that episode came on it like ruined it for me. It speaks to SpongeBob that I managed to even watch the rest of it. You know what? I would actually I liked the episode up until that point. I think I would watch the first 9.5 minutes and I'd be like, oh, it's gorilla scene time for, let's watch Billy and Mandy now. Like,
You know, sometimes South Park and Family Guy does that shit where they just like bring in like just a real shot. Oh no, I think it's maybe it's American Dad. Family Guy? I think it might be Family Guy.
I mean,
one of those
Family Guy
shows
does
does real shot. It's like whoever was like writing SpongeBob was like getting jealous and they were like like they forgot who they worked for a second. Like, hey, you put that gorilla idea on like Family Guy. So like, no, did I put that on SpongeBob? Was I supposed to?
You know, it shows up. He's in a gorilla suit. It's fun and for children, definitely.
There was an episode of South Park where they actually show video footage of like somebody going through a sex change operation. And I remember seeing it like way too young. It was like Mr. Garrison gets a sex change, and they like they blur out not enough, and it's because he's having it, and then they just start describing it and showing like cut scenes of it happening.
My thing still makes me feel more molested. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I feel way more touched. I don't like that's where my trust issues come from. I think SpongeBob betrayed me.
I also had a book that I read. I don't know if I remember the name of this book. It was like a summer reading book. And it was like Monster Hunters or some shit.
I probably read.
And a scene in this book.
Sounds like the kind of summer reading that you would have picked out.
A scene in this book, these kids got stuck in a maze and they were lost. And I remember like they thought they wouldn't get out and I started crying and my mom came in the room. She was like, "Why are you crying?" And it was the first memory I have of being afraid of dying. I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna die someday." Like reading about these kids being trapped in a maze made me like panic and be like realize my own mortality. And she was like, "Zach, you have a long time to worry about that." And I was like, "But Mom, we don't." It feels like a long time until you're there.
We're already in the maze, Mom. Do you not see that? Yeah, I don't remember the first time I realized my own mortality in like a meaningful way that would have stuck with me like that. Like,
Have you ever almost died or like thought like this might, like genuinely not joking around? I've only had one moment where I was like, this is not, I guess I've had two moments. I've had two moments where I was like, this is not good.
one time I was driving pretty stupidly and a little road ragey.
Okay.
And I took, and I was really mad at this guy who had done something that I shouldn't have even been mad about. And I turned really hard to cut him off and like right in front of him, and I felt my car start to like
Speed
lose
wobble?
control, just speed wobble.
Yeah.
And I got it back on track, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm not angry anymore. Jesus.
You ever get that on a scooter as a kid?
As bad? No.
Bomb down a hill too fast?
No.
No, okay, that always scared the shit out of me. One time when I was a little kid, I was swimming in the ocean, and like you like playing around, like a big wave comes, it's kind of fun to dive into, you fuck down. Well, not fuck down, you fuck around.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I dove into a wave, because like, a wave comes, you dive into it to like avoid it, you kind of swim underneath it. And I somehow got trapped under the water and I couldn't go up. And it was a moment where I realized like, actually maybe I shouldn't say that. I definitely had in my head, I was like, I guess maybe I was coping a little bit. I had in my head, I was like, I'm not going to die like this. Like, this isn't how I die, right? But I feel like you don't have that thought unless you're in a situation where, at least subconsciously, you're like, this is a bad situation to be in.
Well, I remember, and I won't say his name but we
Do I know him?
You definitely know him. He's our mutual childhood friend who had a really bad
I know who you're
accident.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. New guy, yeah.
New guy.
New guy in my head. I know who you're talking about. Continue.
Yes, no, we knew him for a really long. I know him still, but
Piano.
Yeah. So he had a really bad accident, and he was oh god, and I remember him saying to me, he was like, and he was telling me like this was his explanation for why he was an atheist at 13 years old. So smart kid, but also pretty morbid. He was like, yeah, I didn't see any bright light. I didn't feel any presence of God. I just saw myself bleeding out, and I thought, fuck, I'm gonna die now. And then I passed out and I woke up in the hospital. And I was like, man, just as blunt as ever,
Holy shit.
Like, I mean, honestly, kind of a badass way to take death, Like Warhammer 40K really prepared him for death.
No, I don't know if that's. Okay, I mean, I'm not belittling him at all. I don't think that's probably not as unusual as you think it is.
I'm sure. I mean, no, I agree with that. Like, I'm not saying that. I mean, no, he was still like he did the hard part is making it through, first of all. But I agree with you that like when you are like when something is so urgent, you're not like ow. You're just assessing the situation.
You have a very basic thought. Like I am the only other time I've had was when I told you that I touched 277 volts.
You should say it again. It's worth saying again.
I'm too embarrassed.
Well, tell Lily at least.
Okay, so you see the mark. Oh yeah, zoom in on this mark. Oh fuck, it might not show up. Zoom in. It's right there.
Try to. It's having a little bit of trouble.
Doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna get a beer while he tells this story. Does anyone else want anything? Just me.
I would take a LaCroix.
There you go. You can kind of see the black
LaCroix?
spot from
Yeah,
like,
I can see it. Yeah.
Nonetheless,
Let me talk.
I got hit with 277 volts, and the quickness of like not even really thinking about, I mean, going from just like normal life to like all of a sudden, like granted it was a dark space, but my eyes, I don't know if my eyes shut or if it was just dark as fuck, but just going into like a moment of like, it's almost like remembering a dream a little bit. Because, like, I don't remember anything visual, and I don't remember hearing anything. I just feel like I heard something. And I remember having the conscious thought of, I can't let go, this is not good. And then I was up on a ladder, and I fell off the ladder and miraculously landed on my feet like a cat. And that's when like the way I describe it is like it's being spawned in a video game, because like you black out, you don't really realize what's happening until afterwards and you process it. So like you black out and then you land on your feet. And then all of a sudden you can start thinking again. I'm chilling. Oh, can I have that blue one? Yeah. Hell yeah. But nonetheless, my point in saying this is, I don't think it's that unique to in a situation where shit is going south to have a very basic thought. Like in his situation was, oh shit, I'm going to die, and mine was simply, I can't let go. This is not good. I think your brain just doesn't have time to.
Well,
process.
I definitely get that in the sense that I think of myself as like a relatively anxious person. I need a fucking bottle opener. As a relatively anxious person. Oh, thank you.
That wasn't a think, that was a tell.
Oh, well.
You see the white circle? No, the coaster.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, oh, sorry. Yeah, coaster. I see. No, I still need a bottle. I was like, how is this related to me? No, you don't understand. It's all about me.
You're like, I need a bottle opener. Hey, can you use a coaster? Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Like,
So,
no, the coaster.
where's
Yeah,
the,
where? How does this help me open my beer, Zach?
Do you want me to go grab a coaster or a bottle?
No, I'll get it. I'll go grab it in a sec. I'll go find something. But no, it's like
It's probably a twist off. Just twist
no,
it.
it's not.
Use your teeth, you bitch. Can you?
No, you can't twist it.
Oh, okay.
Not even. I mean, maybe you need your manly blue collar working.
I
hand.
don't. Yeah, it sounds like a good way to break your fucking. No, I don't have man hands. I always joke with my coworkers that you don't get man hands until you have a kid.
There's no man. That's not a twist off.
He's trying.
I just rip my fucking jeans right now. I don't think I can do it. You see those motherfuckers that do it with their teeth?
No, I've seen people do it with your teeth. You can do it with another bottle. You can do it with a piece of paper. That almost works.
Piece of paper?
Yeah, you can do it with a piece of paper. If you wanted to try, we could try doing it. We could look up how.
Honestly, we've been recording for an hour. I think this is a good point.
We're
just have a bottle
close
opener?
to the end. I'll go get a bottle opener.
You want to pop it, down it, and then bounce? 1 hour is good enough.
No, 1 hour is good enough.
it's-
I totally agree
It doesn't
with
need to be
that.
longer than that.
No, I have no clue. Well, I'll tell this one final story, and
Well,
then
if
we
you got a story,
can let it. But like, I find that it's like when I'm getting like I'm pretty anxious about like little stuff about like, oh, I have to wake up and go to work the next morning, or I still have this thing hanging over my head. But in like really big situations, like one time I was driving with Cameron, and she had her bumper half duct taped on, and she was on the highway, and she was accelerating, and her bumper, the wind caught it, and it flew off like way behind the car, and she's like panicking. She's like pulling over into the left lane, and like I don't know, for someone who's so anxious, I'm very like, oh, what's the word, like pragmatic in those situations. I'm just like, no, stop, don't panic, you can't pull over to the left lane, pull over to the right lane. And just like little things like to remember. I'm very much like, okay, no one got hit, so it's fine. I'm just gonna go walk out. I'm gonna go walk about 500 feet back that way. I'm gonna wave traffic to a stop. I'm gonna grab this bumper, and I'm gonna put it in your trunk, and it's gonna be fine. And it was like, yeah, for someone who's so panicked about like waking up on time the next morning, it's a weird thing to be chill about. So I feel like, I don't know if everyone's like more like that in certain ways. Like, do you get this feeling of like, this is too important to be anxious about, or like action needs to be taken so we don't have time to like think about a bunch of fucking options?
You want to know the honest truth, Julian?
Yeah.
I fantasize about being in situations where I have to make a rash decision and it being the right decision. I like, it's almost like when you ask like,
Zack, we're not going to be able to make it over that train. We're gonna make it. Whoa!
Have you ever heard people say like, do you believe in aliens? It's like, yeah, but I want to believe in aliens.
Oh boy,
And,
have I heard
you know,
people say that.
Fuck you. But no, when I was a little kid, I was talking to this French dude that was really good at soccer, and he was talking about a time when he was like, his goalie had blocked a shot, and then he was on the ground already, and the other team was about to kick the ball like straight into the goalie. There's nothing you do, and so he just fucking punched the ball. Just to give his goalie another chance at blocking it, because if you're not the goalie and you touch the ball with your hand, it's an automatic penalty kick.
Right.
But he was going to score anyways, so at least it's a penalty rather than just an automatic goal. Mm-hmm. And since I heard that the entire time I played soccer, I was like, bro, that's such a badass thing. Like, you have the mindset of like, there's like what a wild thing to do. Like, I'm going to do the one rule there is in soccer: don't touch the ball with your hand, because it is the best decision. And I was almost looking for for the opportunity to do that while I played soccer, and the opportunity came, and I don't know if it was the right decision or if I was just stoked that I was in a
I'm just
position
laughing
where I
like
thought it was the right
a
decision.
really dedicated Seahawks fan before that Super Bowl way long ago, all those years ago. A really dedicated Seahawks fan being like, oh, they're not gonna like it. It's not gonna be within the rules, but I need to do what's right. I need to kill Tom Brady. Or just I like taking that to its extreme. I'm like, yeah, but is he gonna win the game if we kill him though?
Can I tell Lily a joke idea that I already told you?
Please.
Oh wait, yeah, you've just been watching Better Call Saul, haven't you? Okay, have you ever seen Suits?
A little bit.
A little bit, but you know kind of the idea, right?
Yeah, I know the idea.
I just go, you have to watch Suits and then watch Breaking Bad, because after watching Breaking Bad and going to Suits, anytime someone blackmails a main character in Suits, I'm like, just kill him! Just hire a dude, and he's not a problem anymore. Like, anytime, and like, I feel like watching Breaking Bad has made me like, and I would never kill someone, right? But like, there's so many moments in life where like someone does something and I'm like, you could die right now. You know what I mean? And so I imagine a situation, I've never been in a spot where like someone fucking blackmails me into like a situation where I'm gonna make it so that it looks like you did this horrible thing, and if you tell anyone, now you're gonna be implicated, and now you're gonna go to jail with me.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if I kill you, then the secret kind of dies with you. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where like the one good show totally fucking ruined another good show for me, just because every resolution isn't like, well, we don't want to cross too many lines. I'm like, fuck the rules, bro. Stab that motherfucker and move on.
Well, it's like I don't know if you've seen The Boys, but it's like watching like more grit. It's like seeing like, like I saw this meme today that's like, Spider-Man won't kill you, but he certainly will hurl like a manhole cover at your head for committing a robbery. And now I watch those things where it's like, we're Batman, where he punches a guy and then he like falls back and hits his neck, and it's like, oh yeah, he died. You killed him, or worse. Like sometimes they're just like, oh yeah, you know, he's not dead. He's just in for the next 18 months of physical therapy.
Yeah,
Thank you, Batman.
Batman's just leaving a trail of paralyzed motherfuckers behind him.
I'm too noble to go the other way. I just have to confine all these criminals of Gotham City to wheelchairs and rascal scooters.
All right, buddy, you want to wrap it up? Want to say that's it?
All right.
Well, Julian, it's the first episode of The Other End of the Candle. How did it feel?
Well, you know,
this is dumb. We're not doing this. Never mind.
It felt like
Once
the first
again,
episode.
yeah, it felt like the first
It's not
episode.
dumb.
It is dumb. I'm not doing that
Like,
shit.
at the end of
How was your
counseling.
day? At the end of what?
Zach,
When I was doing those counseling videos, you do feedback. You don't have
Zach,
to
it
put
shows
Yeah,
that
we're not doing
it shows
this.
that
Is
we
a counseling
care
video.
about
We're
each
not
other.
being
Zach,
graded.
this isn't toxic masculine. We care about each other. You know, we're men. We love each other. We can ask how the day has been. You know.
Isn't it more
There's
about how
just
you feel
something.
about the podcast?
There's something about like. Oh God, I can't drink LaCroix.
Don't stop, we go straight to the top. Don't stop, we go straight to the top. I am that dude. I am that dude. I am that dude. I am that dude. I am that. Don't stop, we go straight to the top. Don't stop, we go straight to the top. And we all going together.